COVID-19 has forced various race series across the globe to experiment. We discussed this in last week's video on the Formula 1 races at Imola, Algarve and the Nürburgring. It was also announced in early July that NASCAR would race on the Daytona road course for the first time, so again they're being forced to experiment. But some changes to the IMSA Weathertech Sportscar Championship calendar were announced recently. Obviously, we've raced twice at Daytona this year because of the pandemic, but now the 6-hour race that was supposed to be held at Watkins Glen has now been moved to Road Atlanta 5 weeks before Petit Le Mans, which is a sort of understandable decision because it's, exceptional times, and that race will be held on September 6th. But the main point that we'll be talking about today is the Lime Rock Park GT race. This race has been cancelled and will now be held at the Charlotte Roval on October 9th. This will be the first time the Grand Prix of Charlotte has been held since 2001, which was run as part of the American Le Mans series. Now, in case you don't know what the Roval is, allow me to explain. Charlotte Motor Speedway has two layouts. There is, of course, the Speedway, which hosts races like the Coca-Cola 600, and then there is the infield road course, which incorporates some of the Speedway's banking. It's actually quite similar to the Daytona Sports Car course that hosts the Rolex 24. Sports cars have been to Charlotte before, as previously mentioned with the American Le Mans series, but before that, the IMSA GT Championship during the 70s and 80s. More recently, the road course has been used for the NASCAR Cup and NASCAR Xfinity Series races since 2018, and has produced some properly entertaining racing. The first Cup race held on the Roval came down to the last lap as Jimmy Johnson and Martin Truex Jr. collided on the last lap, giving the win to Ryan Blaney. Since NASCAR started going to the Roval, people have been speculating for a while whether IMSA or even IndyCar would go to race there, and now it looks like those theories have become a reality. Now, as this would be the replacement for the Lime Rock Park race, Charlotte will be GTLM and GTD only. Now, while some people probably wanted to see prototypes on the Roval, again, the GT race is always cool, and since NASCAR started going to the Roval, it has produced some incredibly exciting racing, as I said, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing GT cars on the Roval. Personally, I hope they keep the race going in 2021. If they do go back next year, I would actually quite like to see how prototypes run there as well, but I might end up changing my mind on that. I mean, who knows? Maybe it will actually run better as a GT-only race. Only time will tell. What do you think the race will be like? Should they go back there in 2021 if the race is good? Put all your thoughts in the comments below. I do actually read them all, so you may as well say something and I will most likely respond to you. All the socials are in the description below, including the TCR Instagram, Twitter and Discord server, as well as my own personal Twitter. Please go check those links out if you haven't already done so. And before we wrap up today, I just wanted to let you know some things that I've been doing recently. I recently collabed with JWF1 talking about why Ferrari is suddenly so terrible in Formula 1. Also, I know this was a while ago, but I feel like I should have mentioned it earlier. I recorded a podcast episode over on the F1 Fanatics channel with Mike. It was a really entertaining podcast, and I think if you're a fan of this channel, you'll like that podcast episode. Both of those really cool projects are in the description below. I recommend going to check them out and going to give those channels a sub. Anyway, link in the description. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.